I'm Andy Shaughnessy for Real Time with IPC. Here with me this afternoon is Oren Manor. How you doing, Oren?
I'm pretty good. Yes.
Oren is the Director of Business Development for the Valor division of Manor. And we were talking earlier, you said you've been looking at the trends that you see in electronics manufacturing worldwide. When you look out, what do you see?
Yeah, well, I would say, we're relatively optimistic at these days. We see a rise in manufacturing of semiconductors, and in the past we've seen that always driving PCB production up. So that leads us to be, somewhat optimistic that the industry is going to grow. We also see a lot of our customers who are into hybrid solutions, making system-on-chip modules and these things, really ramping up production, requiring more, using more SMT equipment for that. So we think in all, we should probably see some more production going up. And we also see, specific segments where electronics is really growing these days as well.
Yeah. So how does this break down by segments? What segments look like they're doing really well?
Yeah. Okay, so one segment we definitely see is the automotive segment. We can really see the automotive in the last couple of years being an electronic device. We see commercials, on TV for specific applications which are very consumerish, electronic in nature. We see iPod connectivity becoming a big hit with all of the different vendors. And if it used to be only tier 1 cars, we see it dripping down to tier 2, even tier 3 cars, showing that. We see customers of ours doing these, power units to open up the back of the trunk without, need of assistance. So we really see this driving, and since everything in the car is very modularized and very specific, these vendors just have to add more and more, devices into the car. They can't leverage existing stuff, leading them to manufacture more components, manufacture more boards, and as driving this demand. And I guess we also see that while they're trying to centralize on some global platforms, people just customize the cars. You want iPod connectivity, but you don't want power, power seats. I want nav, but I don't want iPod. So this is again driving them to be able to be very, very configurable and being able to customize, because really, essentially, every car out there is different than the other. So I think this is all driving that. We also see the telecommunication industry as, driving, and specifically, I think, back-end telecommunication, baseband for cellular, 4G is getting a lot of adoption in Asia and other territories. People need more and more of these base stations. So we see everybody around telecommunication making more and more equipment. These are very complex boards, thousands of components, and we see there a lot of demand and a lot of requirements going. So I think we're going to see an increase there as well. So these are two specific segments I would really follow, in the near future.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you're seeing when you look out?
Yeah, well, we definitely see some challenges in global manufacturing. So I think traditionally, maybe 10 years ago, manufacturing was very local, in the sense that I would design in an office in the US, I would manufacture in Mexico, and I would serve the global distribution from there. Or I would design in Europe, manufacture in Eastern Europe, and supply it from there. But because customs have been put up so much by some of the countries, and also demand is shifting so drastically these days. You could be manufacturing in China to serve the local market, but suddenly Brazil, demand picks up there. You want to change manufacturing over there. And it's not easy for some of these global EMs. We have a customer there who, every year ships about 20% of their SMT equipment between site to site, because they certify their equipment with a specific vendor, and they can't just move it between different lines. So they physically take their equipment, put it on a ship, and send it half around the world. Now that's not very, agile and not very effective. And we really see them coming to us and saying we need a way to quickly take production and move it between site to site. And same for the OEMs with captive manufacturing. They might have 5 or 6 different manufacturing sites. They don't want to repeat the whole MPI process in every site again and again. So when we look at MPI, we usually classify it as product MPI and process MPI. Product MPI is kind of defining what is the product I'm going to manufacture. Doesn't matter the manufacturing environment or the process.
Right.
Process MPI is specific to a line. So my process MPI in my line in China is going to be very different than my line in Poland.
Sure, sure.
Now, product MPI is really done once. I've designed a new product, I do it once, I'm ready. But process MPI needs to be repeated every time I move between one of these sites. And you know, that's a big challenge that these guys are facing. It's not, and we're trying to help them in trying to accommodate that and trying to make it much more smoother, that you don't really have to repeat this whole process MPI again and again, and you can easily migrate production. Business people come, they say we need to move it, and you know, it can be facilitated. So that's definitely you know, one challenge that we see. The other one is, you know, is the variant management. As we said, you know, cars are being, you know, customized, so many different variants. I need to be able to, you know, make this device for the French market, meeting some French standard, but I also have to meet the Canadian standards. So I need a lot of these variants with, you know, at the end of the day, it does the same, but maybe some components are different, some certification is different. So I have to manage a lot of different variants. And manufacturing this and be able to shift is not easy. And that's a big challenge we see from a lot of these OEMs and EMS companies, is how do we manage all of these variants without this whole thing, you know, getting out of hands.
So a lot of opportunities, and with it a whole lot of challenges.
So I think you know, I think it's going to be exciting for all of us here.
All right. All right. Well, it's good to talk to you. And,
thank you very much.
I know we'll be talking again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Again, I've been speaking with Oren Manor. I'm Andy Shaughnessy for Real Time with IPC. Thanks for watching.